You and welcome to the world of live news. And I'm with Dean Erwin Chemerinsky about his new book, No Democracy Lasts Forever. Erwin, let's pick up where we left off. And, for 40 years, I have revered the Supreme Court of the United States. I now see it more as a political entity. I'm curious what your view is.
The Supreme Court's decisions have always been a product of the ideology of the justices. It was true early in American history. It was true early in the 20th century when the Supreme Court was striking down progressive legislation. It was true during the Warren Court when it was a liberal group of justices. And it's true now with a very conservative group of justices. That said, I think that the major problem with the Supreme Court we've seen is the need for an ethics code. And I think the lack of one is why the Supreme Court is its lowest approval rating ever in American history.
In your book, you do point out things we need to do. We need to write a new constitution, but we acknowledge that's not happening tomorrow. So let me talk about a few things. You actually argue saying there should be no filibuster, but I sort of wonder, now that power has shifted and all that, it depends on who's in power in terms of whether people want to filibuster power, right?
I think that's right. And yet we also have to face the reality that 2 senators per state creates tremendous inequities. At the time the Constitution was written, the difference between the largest and the smallest state was 12-1. Now the difference between the largest state, California, and the smallest state, Wyoming, in population is 68-1. In the last session of Congress, when there were 50 Democratic senators and 50 Republican senators, the 50 Democratic senators represented 42 million more people than the 50 Republican senators. And then when you add to that, the filibuster allows a group of senators representing a small minority of the population to block legislation. The filibuster is a major cause for gridlock in Washington, and that's what I was talking about.
You also refer to the fact that it would be good if we didn't have lifetime tenure for Supreme Court justices, and that comes up from time to time in a variety of federal judge positions. Of course, the idea behind it was keep them out of politics. If we put an 18-year term or something like on it, are we bringing them into the world of politics? Maybe they're there already.
Not at all. I think 18-year non-renewable terms for Supreme Court justices would be desirable. I think we'd likely pick individuals a bit later in their career. It would be the capstone. Clarence Thomas was 43 when he was put on the Supreme Court. If he remains until he's 90, the age Justice John Paul Stevens retired, he'll be a justice for 47 years. So this doesn't sound political. Elena Kagan was 50 when she was put on the court. If she stays until she's 90, that's 40 years. That's just too much power in one person's hands, too long a period of time. And so I think 18-year non-renewable terms won't make them more political, but it will allow us to be able to have a court that's not so tied to the past.
Most people would agree we don't like the Electoral College anymore. It was put in because, as you write, the founders really didn't trust the democracy, so that was meant as a check. But what are the odds of that going away? It's in the Constitution.
I think that it'd be very difficult to amend the Constitution to eliminate the Electoral College because the states that benefit from it aren't going to ratify a constitutional amendment. But there is a change that could happen. Right now, 48 states, all but Nebraska and Maine, do winner take all. So if someone voted for Donald Trump in Illinois, their vote didn't matter. If someone voted for Kamala Harris in Texas, their vote didn't matter. Congress could pass a law that requires that states allocate their electors roughly proportionate to the popular vote. If so, it would tremendously decrease the chances of electing a president who lost the popular vote.
All right, the book is called No Democracy Lasts Forever, How the Constitution Threatens the United States. It is available now. Dean Erwin Chemerinsky, great book. Thank you for your time. We've got a full screen showing it. We'll be right back. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.